And welcome everyone. Welcome to another webinar from the 2021 AUIS Career Week. Today we are joined by Ms. Nariman Yunus from Mercy Corps. The title of the webinar is Livelihood Portfolio Current and Future Programs. Before we begin with the webinar, I would like to mention that this webinar is organized by the AUIS Communications Department, hosted by the Student Services Department, and with the help of the IT department. Thank you for tuning in once again to our webinar. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that now so you do not miss any of our future webinars. Ms. Nariman, thank you so much for taking the time for being with us today. I'd like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and Mercy Corps and then begin your presentation.
Thanks a lot, dear. This is Nariman Yunus, Livelihood Portfolio Communication Officer based in Mosul City. For my organization, Mercy Corps, we are leading many programs in different areas of Iraq, including Salahuddin, Kirkuk, Baghdad, Basra, Anbar, Mosul, Sudi, Erbil, all around Iraq. Today, I will present some of the programs under the Livelihood Portfolio. I will share my screen now with you.
Okay.
Mercy Corps Livelihood Portfolio Current and Future Programs. For our current programs, first of all, we have YIELDS program, Youth-Oriented Innovative Employment and Livelihood Towards Durable Solutions for IDPs, host communities, and Syrian refugees in Iraq, including Sulaimani and Erbil provinces. The main brief about the program is that the project title is YIELDS, Youth-Oriented Innovative Employment and Livelihoods Towards Durable Solutions for IDPs, host communities, and Syrian refugees in Iraq. The program is funded by Regional Development and Protection Program for Middle East, RDPP, which is the multi-donor European initiative by Czech Republic, Denmark, Europe, Madad, Ireland, and Switzerland, managed by Danish government. The project duration is from December 2019 till the end of December 2021, 24 months. The project coverage is the urban areas in Sulaimani and Erbil provinces. The main target of the program is that Iraqi IDPs and host communities and Syrian refugees aged between 18 and 30, and 40% of them are women. The implementing partners for this program is that Kido and YAO and Recoded. The main activities are livelihood. The main problems that the program is covering is that about 147,049 Syrian refugees and 385,272 Iraqi IDPs living in Erbil and Sulaimaniya are over 70% of them are, live out of the camps. Second thing is that the access to equitable and sustainable livelihoods remains a critical need for those refugees and IDPs, as well as the host community members. The last thing is that estimated about 80% of the IDPs, returnees, and vulnerables, non-displaced Iraqis to rely on the negative coping strategies such as buying food on credit, children dropping out of school, and entering into forced marriage. All these push the program towards helping them. So the main goal of this program is that Syrian refugees, Iraqi IDPs, and host community women and youth living in displaced, affected communities access their own rights, and they are safe, self-reliant, and refugees are able to avail themselves of durable solutions. This is the main goal for the program. We have two outcomes under the YIELDS program. The first outcome is that Syrian refugees, the Iraqi IDPs, and the host communities youth make successful transitions to safe, equitable, and productive work. The second outcome is that improved capacity of local partners to integrate market-based solutions and private sector partnerships to increase youth employability and business opportunities. These are the two outcomes for the program. Regarding the activities under the outcome 1, we have Syrian refugees, Iraqi IDPs, and host communities youth make successful transitions to make equitable, productive work. This is on the individual level of the program. We have Coding Academy by the Recoded Coding Academy. We have Youth on Technology and Entrepreneurship Workshop, TS and CD trainings, including recorded curriculum. Third thing, we have Coded Bootcamp. We have technology events like technology entrepreneurship activation talks, speech, dating events. These three activities are under the Coding Academy. The second track that we have is that Freelancing Academy by Gaza Sky Gigs. As we said, for track 1 of the program, which is technology-enabled employment, and number 2 from this track, we have Freelancing Academy by Gaza Sky Gig. First of all, we do TOT digital trainings for digital freelancers by Gaza Sky Gigs. We do 10-week freelancing training by trained digital freelancers. We do monitoring, online monitoring and counseling. And the last thing is that we provide laptop smartphones for the selected trainees. For track 2, under the YIELD program, we have business coaching to determine if the applicants need vocational trainings or do not need. For those who need vocational trainings, we provide them technical skills development trainings through voucher program. Third thing is that business trainings for VT and non-VT participants, for vocational training participants and non-vocational training participants. We conduct coaching on business plan development. We provide the grants for the non-vocational training participants, and then we provide them the tools. And the last thing is that we do coaching for 6 months to all those startup grantees. Then, as a final step, is that we link the startups with financial service providers through the conduct of business forum, so that to learn how to avail to access financial products and services, and also to promote the use of technology-based financial services such as mobile banking. For track 3 under the YIELD program is that internship and job placement. We have internship intervention. What is done under this intervention? First of all, we select from the TS and CD participants. Then we conduct internship event for the TS and CD graduated participants. The third thing that we do is the internship placement for non-tech companies. We place these interns to companies. The fourth thing that we do, internship placement for 4 tech companies grantees. The last thing is that we conduct job fair for all the businesses and including the participants or the interns, so that the business event focus on the promotion of social cohesion for businesses, for host communities, in order to encourage them to recruit with the IDPs, the Syrian refugee employees. Number 2 from track 3 is that we have job placement through SVP or shared value partnership. We select from the TS and CD graduates, and then we do shared value placement for those selected graduates. These 3 trackers were regarding the outcome 1 from the program. For outcome 2 from the program, we have improved capacity of local partners to integrate market-based solutions and the private sector partnership to income youth's employability and business opportunity. In this outcome, we more focused on the system level rather than the individual level, which was in outcome 2. we have shifting from the individual to the system level, from you women and youth from the Syrian refugees and Iraqi IDPs and host communities to the system level, which is CBO. We have the CBOs having organizational capacity development, building, market system-based interventions, and the private sector engagement. Also, we have TVET under the program, which is technical vocational educational trainings for centers. We build the capacity of these centers to improve the businesses and the markets of the TVET. The last thing is that we have a private sector and business for business development support. We have shared value partnership, and for the private sector engagement market research. So the impact of this program is that we will have women and youth participants aged from 18 to 30 are self-reliant through an enabling environment, providing decent and sustainable livelihood opportunities adapted to their circumstances that support access to durable solutions for those IDPs and refugees. This was regarding YIELDS program, which is based in Suli and Erbil. Now we will move to program number 2 under the portfolio, livelihood portfolio. The Taghyir program, which means Taghyir means change in Arabic language. The Taghyir program is in Mosul. The project duration is 3 years, started from 1 June 2019 till 31 May 2022. The program will target 3 districts or sub-districts in Nainawa province, in Mosul, Tilkef, and Sinjar. The implementing partner of Mercy Corps Taghyir program is the Mercy Hand organization, which is a local national organization. The project main goal is that to promote peaceful coexistence and well-being for returnees and host communities in conflict-affected communities in Nainawa through psychological resilience, social cohesion, and livelihood restoration. The main objectives of our Taghyir program is that we, first of all, we do improve psychological, psychosocial well-being for vulnerable adolescents and youth. Second thing is that we have increased social cohesion between communities, including greater inclusion of women and youth in Nainawa. Third thing, we have increased economic resilience for youth through enhanced livelihood opportunities in 3 districts of Nainawa. For the program, the overall description of the Taghyir program, first of all, we have the individuals from the community are provided by PSS protection support activities under the program. Then the second layer, we have concerning the family itself, the individuals like the youth, the children, and the members themselves. The second layer, we have the family or the CBPN, community-based protection networks, which this network is mainly consists from parents and caregivers, so that we raise the awareness level of protection among the families within our community. The last layer, which is the community itself, which is represented by CAG and NIAG, community action groups, and YAG, youth action groups, among the 3 communities that we have in Mosul, Tilkef, and Sinjar. Those will support to achieve the main goal of our program. For the main activities of the program is consisting from 3 main approaches or components. The first component is that PSS. The second component is social cohesion. The third component is livelihood activities. For the main activities under the PSS component, PSS and the protection component of the program, first of all, we have PSS activities. These PSS activities target the children within the communities in 3 districts, Mosul, Telkef, and Sinjar. The second thing is that we have PSS trainings and activities, like we have life skills, life skills trainings for the youth from these communities, so that we can support them with the skills that they need. And the last thing is that we have PSS trainings and activities for the parents and the caregivers of the children. And we can notice that the PSS activities for children and the PSS activities for parents and caregivers are linked to each other, because when we provide the trainings for the parents, we will try to manage their relationship with the children, trying to have child safeguarding, better understanding of child protection, and the main processes that to be taken into consideration. Among the activities that are conducted under the PSS and protection component of the year program, we have AUIS, which is the centers of the program. We build 3 centers in the 3 communities of our in the 3 locations of the program: Mosul, Telkef, and Sinjar, adolescent and youth-friendly spaces. So, and these activities, PSS activities for youth, children, and parents and caregivers, are implemented in these centers. Also, the other activities under the protection PSS component is that we have CBPN. We establish what is called community-based protection network. We try to build a system for a protection system in the communities that we are targeting, and this system is consisted from the parents and the caregivers inside these locations. After we establish the CBPN, we try to provide the elected members by protection trainings, so that we can build their capacity and they have more understanding, better understanding about the protection related stuff. The second thing is that we conduct behavior change communication sessions, like focus group discussions, or we conduct BCC campaigns, behavior change communication campaigns, and we distribute awareness raising brochures about the main and correct protection processes and behaviors that are to be taken into consideration. Number 2, the main activities under the program, component number 2, which is social cohesion. We have Kaganyag. Under component number 2 of the year program, we have the establishment of community action groups, which is consisted from the people aged above 35, and youth action groups, which is consist from participants from 18 till 34. The YAG and CAG members are provided by social cohesion trainings so that they can carry on and implement the activities of the program. So under the CAG and YAG committees, we have social projects, like we rehabilitate destroyed parks, institutions, like any kind of project which is proposed by CAG and YAG, we can implement it so that we can promote for the social cohesion in these communities. Also, we implement social events like cooking events, iftar events, or doing competitions, football match, sewing competitions, cooking competitions, and so on, related to social events. Also, among the social cohesion activities that we have under the Tabtagir program, we have for the female members in CAG and YAG committees, we provide them with advocacy trainings. We do conduct meetings with community members to address the issues of the women, pass those issues to community leaders so that they can be taken into consideration, and we can advocate their issues, try to solve them with the governmental actors and community leaders. Also, we have female-related social events for the CAG and NIAG female members under the Tagir program. We conduct events which are related to them, like like having sewing competitions, cooking competitions, and any other kind of events that can be proposed. These activities were related to component number 2 under the Tagir program. For component number 3, we have the livelihood activities. The livelihood activities is consisted from, first of all, either the parents or the youth. For the parents, we might have kind of destroyed businesses inside the Mosul community, specifically because of the ISIS war and the getting free from ISIS. Then we had many of these businesses destroyed, and they are not able to restore it and to function it again. So Mercy Corp took the initiative to support these businesses and provide them with the grants that they need and restore their businesses. So the first one is related to those to parents, so that we can restore their businesses by the scale up grants that we are providing them under the Tagir program. The second thing is that we provide the youth action groups with SSIS grants, which is a small scheme irrigation system. We provide agriculture grants for the youth in the community, which is kind of a collective grant. We provide the agriculture grant for a group of youth who have a farmland and they want to invest it. Mercy Corp can provide them with the crops that they need, provide them with the tools that they need, and the training, support, monitoring that they need to start their agriculture project and maintain it, in addition to having a solar system irrigation, which is for the land that they have. This is the grant number 2 for the program. The first grant was scale up for the parents to restore their businesses. The second grant was agricultural one for those who have farmlands. And the last thing is that the last grant is that for youth, those who are newly graduated and have no business, we can support them with different kind of intervention. The first thing is that we have the internship intervention. We conduct the same thing that we discussed earlier regarding the youth program. We select the interns. We provide we select them, distribute them to the businesses. We do the job placement, we do monitoring, and last thing, we do the job fair so that they can be placed permanently. And the second kind of intervention for the youth under the Tagir program is that we have the startup grants. For those who have ideas, but they don't have the money or the capacity, the financial capacity to run their own businesses, Mercy Corp program, Tagir program, can support them by granting them startup grants and will make them able to implement their projects or their dream businesses. This was for the individual level under the program. Aside from the individual level of the program, we have the supporting function. The Tagir program also implements the TVET activities, technical vocational educational training for centers in Mosul City. The TVET centers, we provide them with business development trainings. We do organizational capacity assessment, and we provide them the infrastructure structure that they need. We provide them the trainings they need so that they can better implement and better conduct their activity. The second thing is that we have the financial system, which is we do kind of like financial loaning system inside the community, and this loaning system is consisted from the community members themselves. The project activity implementation. The services under the Career program will be provided in safe spaces, which are known as AYFS, Adolescent and Youth Friendly Spaces. Mercy Corps Tahrir team will do partnership with local NGOs, which is Mercy Hand organization. The partnership will be presented by the sub award, and it was identified by the competitive sub award. And Mercy Hand organization is the local partner for the Tahrir program. For the project expected spendings, we have the grants under the Tahrir program, and we have social, as I said, social projects. We have social events, we have agricultural grants, startup projects, and scale-up projects. These activities were under the Tahrir program, which is in Mosul City. If you have any kind of questions related to current programs under Mercy Corps Livelihood portfolio, please do not hesitate and tell me. If not,
thank you, Ms. Nariman. I actually have a couple of questions that I want to ask you on the current topic. The first one is that you mentioned that you have several programs, for example, one of them being the Youth Action Group. We have some similar clubs here at AUIS, for example, one of them being the Action Group. And we have a lot of students who are willing to do volunteering work to help out the IDPs and volunteers, or the IDPs and refugees in Iraq. I'd just like to ask, what do you think would be the most effective thing for our students to do if they wanted to help out? What would help a lot for these IDPs and refugees, do you think?
For refugees specifically, giving them the opportunities, you know that since 2011, like they have been deprived from many of their rights. They were not able to access many services that they have. So by including them in program activities and any kind of like other activities or services, this will enable them to have better services, and in return they will have better jobs, which will help them to sustain their lives.
Okay, so generally programs that the aim is to make them have more stable lives, I guess, right?
Yeah, sustainable lives and ability to access equitable services.
Okay, thank you so much. I have one other question about your programs in teaching the IDPs and refugees skills to be able to work. I'd like to just ask, can employers right now, if we have any employers listening to our webinar, can any employer now contact you for hiring those IDPs and refugees?
Yeah, sure. I don't have like very detailed info about the employing system or process, but for sure, yes, you can after finishing the presentation or the webinar, you can contact me over Skype or email, providing me the details needed, and for sure, I will do my best.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Nariman. Please proceed.
Thanks a lot, dear. Okay, for our future programs within Mercy Corps Livelihood portfolio, we have some programs which are directly targeting the participants, like we on the individual level, like internship, business trainings, vocational trainings, grants, startup grants, and scale-up grants. These programs are still in the pipeline. They are not implemented up till now. We have a program number 1, which is education plus livelihood activities. We are targeting Syrian refugees in KRI who are deprived of education. The program will have accelerated education so that those who were deprived from education didn't have the right to go to school within KRI. They will have the ability to get certified and get educated. This is for those who passed the age level of being in schools. For those who above 18, the program will target them by having livelihood interventions. As I mentioned before, the livelihood intervention, which will be direct, like having internship, business trainings, vocational trainings, delivering them grants like startup grants and scale-up grants. For number two, we have multi-purpose cash assistance livelihood program. This program will be implemented in Nainawa province. This will do cash support for the families in Nainawa province and will provide livelihood opportunities for those who have the ability and the eligibility to join the activities of the programs in Mosul city. These activities were on the individual level. Sorry, these programs were on the individual level. For system level, which is the demand side, in future, Mercy Corp will have more complicated programs to support the demand of on the employment on the system level. So we will move from the supply directly targeting the individuals to more directing the demand, which is supporting the system itself, so that we improve and enhance the demand side, where we can create new markets and that demand labors through freelancing, coding academies, and technical or technology-based businesses, just as that we are piloting under the Yields program, which I already presented. If there is any kind of questions or you need anything, here's my contact. You can contact me for further questions if you have. I am done with my presentation. Please, if you have any question, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nariman. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. We really appreciate it. I hope we have more similar webinars in the future. It was very informative. Again, thank you for taking the time. Thank you to the viewers for being with us, for tuning in. Until next webinar, goodbye. If you have any closing statements, Ms. Nariman.
Thanks a lot, dear. Thanks for your time also. Have a very nice afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thank you.